The music.
The tourists.
Freedom of speech.
The boats.
The bridle path.
Think you know Manchester? Think again. Visit manchester.com sponsors I Love Manchester.
Welcome to I Love Manchester, our guide to the successes and secrets of our city. Altrincham in South Manchester is an historic market town which has preserved the best of the old world with the new. With so much history, local beauty spots, places to eat, outdoor activities and attractive towns nearby, in Altrincham you really can get the best of both worlds. Altrincham is a settlement just off the old Roman road from Chester to Manchester, in an area that had 7th century Anglo-Saxon settlers from the south. The name Altrincham has Old English meanings, derived from Inga, meaning a group of people, and Ham, a homestead, village or estate. Altrincham Market has been retailing since 1290, and the original would have been held in the middle of a settlement of wattle and daub cottages, where you may have seen anything from cockfighting to public floggings. Altrincham thrived as a textile producing town and subsequently developed as a residential area during the 19th century.
You have this beautiful countryside literally 2 minutes away, and you have some nice shops in Altrincham Town Centre, which is being redeveloped anyway. They put £5 million into Altrincham Town Centre, so we're going to have bigger and better shops.
There is a seductive mix of restaurants and cafe bars in Altrincham, complemented by a lively night time. Here you can find award-winning restaurants with inventive menus from around the world.
Altrincham and Bowden and Hale to a certain degree does have a pretty strong food and drink scene in terms of restaurants. It's quite a high brow and high degree of restaurants.
Cheshire's perceived in a certain way by a lot of people, but obviously there's a lot more to Cheshire. And I think there's beautiful English country pubs.
And from country pubs to one of the UK's finest restaurants, thanks to the creativity of its head chef Paul Kitching. Here the very finest ingredients are cooked with ingenuity and precision to create dishes which consistently excite and astound.
Juniper is run by this fantastic eccentric chap, a Geordie actually, man as a hatter, called Paul Kitching. Which is a great name for a man who runs a restaurant, Paul Kitching.
This restaurant is the only Michelin-starred restaurant in Greater Manchester. And with 4 AA rosettes, it puts it among the top 20 restaurants in the UK and one of the most talked about. Both Gordon Ramsay and Heston Blumenthal have dined here and they rave about it. The food is imaginative and unusual. For example, you may find on the menu something like slow-cooked fillet of beef, morels and truffle parchment, Swede egg custard tart, fig puree, vanilla buttons and chocolate. But if you are unsure about maybe sampling the French cuisine here, then why not try a 3-course meal at lunch for just £20, or on a Tuesday evening, 5 courses, gourmet meal for just £30. What I've got here now is, by the chef's notes, trout, leek, cheese, truffle and garden pea, garlic and cream mint.
If you like meat pie, chips and gravy, then maybe Juniper isn't necessarily for you. But if you like pushing your taste buds a little bit, giving them exotic flavours mixed together under a general French cuisine sort of character, then Juniper is for you. And I think with the different menus they do and the different exotic flavours they do and the different ways of cooking they use, and often original ways of cooking and presentation that Paul comes up with, then you should try it.
Some people might find this quite fancy, but to me, having so many different ingredients in a dish, it's almost like you're just trying so many different dishes in one. It's really a great way to feel full, get the richness of the flavour and have a fantastic meal. And this is to refresh my palate before my pudding, porridge oat milk. Oh God, that's so nice. Pudding next. Wow, oh wow. Treacle sponge souffle, white chocolate, sea salt and praline ice cream. Have a go. This looks so good. No, Gordon was right. After you have dined, why not head off to the town's local theatre, the Garrick Theatre, which has a long and illustrious history from its initial stirrings in November 1913 through to the major redevelopment recently completed. Or if you fancy being a bit more active, then Altrincham has its own ice rink and roller rink.
The ice rink was where we went once in a blue moon. It was a big treat to go to the ice rink.
I used to go as a nipper, of course. I think lots of people in Greater Manchester used to go to Altrincham Ice Rink as a nipper and pretend we were either Torval or Dean, and I can't remember which one's the boy and which one's the girl, so presumably I was trying to be the boy one.
As we got older, I've got to be careful because my son's listening to this, it was where you used to go to trap off. It was where you pulled the blokes, actually. Got a kiss if you were lucky.
And even though the original ice rink was demolished in 2003, the new structure is now home to the Manchester Phoenix ice hockey team and due to open to the public later in the year. Altrincham is also very well known for its beautiful surrounding countryside.
I love Redhouse Farm because it's like the sort of place you nip out into the countryside for, and it literally is nipping out into the countryside. It's probably a mile and a half from where suburbia finishes in South Altrincham.
It's a good day out for children. It's a really good day out for children. But on top of that, you can buy organic produce. So if you're there and you see all this gorgeous looking stuff that you know is going to do you good, then it's a nice place to have around the corner.
It does your classic teas and coffees and apple pies, or as we say, they don't call them in Rochdale, apple tarts, although people look at me funnily when I say that. So they does all that classic stuff, homemade cooking. It's also got a nice shop that does organic veg and its own sort of local food stuffs and a lot of British food stuffs as well.
In this area, especially in Durham Massey, there's a number of teams. We've got the Hall, there's Dog Farm, and then there's ourselves. Lots of people like to come out to the countryside, and it's kind of quintessential having the English cup of tea and a scone, and it's just that nice, enjoyable experience after you've been for a nice long walk in the countryside to have that and refresh. We have a policy of trying to buy as local as we can. Obviously, when it comes to seasonal fruit and veg, that's the most fantastic veg in the area. But then we have other products. Our local honey just comes from the banks of the River Mersey.
Really good meats and a different variety of things, often locally or regionally sourced.
We've got these small, wonderful niche producers who can't supply to big multiple retailers, but to people like us where it's small batches and the quality is always fantastic. It's having these products which people really appreciate and they buy into the concept of coming to Redhouse for a locally produced meal.
Good bit of fresh parmesan. Thank you very much.
It's little elements which help create a wonderful little business community here on the farm, and it just drives more people to us.
Now for me, what goes hand in hand with spending time in the countryside is a cup of traditional English tea.
Have you been horse riding? Yeah, once when I was a kid, and I didn't like it.
If you really want to enjoy the countryside, then get your jumper and riding boots on and go horse riding. Hello, Barbara.
Hello.
This is Monarch.
This is Monarch, yes.
Beautiful horse.
Yes, Monarch's a full Connemara, 14-2, 13-year-old. He's a Cremello, which means he has a gene missing, which changes the pigment, which is why he's pure white.
Pure white.
Yeah.
But horses are a fantastic way to see the countryside here, aren't they?
Oh, they're definitely. There are quite a few places that you can go. Tatton Park's nearby, Somerford, just on the other side of Holmes Chapel, where they have a farm ride, where you can take the horses there and enjoy I think it's a 6-mile farm ride. We can also hack on the country lanes, and we have facilities here which you'll be using shortly, the Menage, where we can school the horses.
Do they take a lot of looking after them?
A lot of looking after, they do. Yeah, it is an expensive hobby.
I'm actually going to go on a horse riding lesson.
Yes,
now.
you are. Yes. Right. Yes, we'll bring Monarch out, tack him up, ready for your lesson.
Okay.
Walk on, Monarch.
He's in the countryside and they all just stuck like a load of kids from my side on the back of horses. Just to watch them panic. I don't like this, no, it's going the wrong way, man, it's going, and I actually cried.
In we come, Monarch.
Good boy, walk on.
Walk on. Okay, Barbara, first things first, how do I get on Monarch?
Right, first thing is you come and stand in the position that I am with your back facing the horse's head.
Okay.
You put the reins into your left hand,
So
gather them up.
Here.
That's it.
Right.
Yep. Into your left hand. Hold the front of the saddle with your left hand.
Okay.
You hold the stirrup with your right hand and put your left foot into there. You then have to spring yourself, move towards him.
Right.
That's it. Put your right hand onto the back of the saddle.
If I pull, he's not going to fall
you're
over, is
no,
he?
No, that's it. I'll put the hand underneath your bottom and give you a bit
Right,
of leverage.
thank you.
1, 2, 3, up. That's it. Well done.
Woo!
Do you know, I've had nightmares about horse riding through the Cheshire countryside. I'd rather saw my leg off than go horse riding through the Cheshire countryside. I'll keep to a bicycle if I'm having to do that sort of stuff. Or walking, what's wrong with walking?
How do you feel?
It feels great, actually. It feels like it is definitely about the balance, because I feel like I could topple over
Yes.
if I wanted to.
Well, Steph, you seem to be doing very well. You've got a lovely position. So how would you feel about stepping up a gear and trying a trot?
A trot, right?
1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you.
How much more?
And walk.
I'm only going to do this once.
Over and slide down. Well done.
Well done, Monarch. Thank you, Barbara. I really, really enjoyed that, I tell you.
Good.
If anyone wants to work out the bottoms, horse riding won't fail.
It's better than the gym.
Better than the gym.
Places to go with JMPTE sponsors I Love Manchester. Places to go with JMPTE sponsors I Love Manchester.
Just on the outskirts of Altrincham is the Dunham Massey estate, a whole 3,500 acres of it. The very heart of the estate is this handsome hall behind me, which for many years was home to a local family here. Today, however, it's owned and run by the National Trust, which means I get to have a look around. An early Georgian house built around a Tudor core, Dunham Massey Hall is one of the most impressive stately homes in the northwest, with sumptuous Edwardian interiors. However, to keep the hall in its best condition, there is a period when the hall undergoes restoration work. So I went along to have a look and to find out who exactly lived here. Hello.
Hello.
Nice
Welcome
to
Dunham Massey.
Thank you very much. It's a fantastic hall. How long has it been here for?
It's been here just over 300 years, this particular building. The present building stands on the site of at least one earlier building.
And it's a vast estate, so who originally owned it?
In the first place, it was owned by the Earls of Warrington, and the second Earl of Warrington only had one daughter, and she married her cousin, the fourth Earl of Stamford, and so it became the Earls of Stamford and Warrington, and then finally just the Earls of Stamford.
So these families, were they landowners? I mean, how did they create their wealth?
Depends what you mean by wealth, really. It's a great responsibility to be the carer of an estate like this. It's also got villages and farms as well on the main estate, as well as the area within the park walls.
So there's a link to royalty here?
There is a link in the fact that Lady Jane Grey, the Queen who was only Queen for 9 days and then was beheaded, was an ancestor of the family.
Would you be kind enough to show me around the hall then?
With pleasure.
Marvellous.
Let's go this way.
Okay.
I think it's special for a couple of reasons. I think particularly for its deer park, which is an exceptional, which isn't expensive bubble, even though it's called a deer park. And it goes right back to the 1300s, even probably before then. And it has got the deer herd there, which is a very ancient deer herd. I don't know how far back they go, but they go really as far back as the Middle Ages. And that would have been hunting ground originally.
On a Sunday, if the sun's out or if it's vaguely fine, we go down to Dunham Massey. And especially when my little boy's 9 now, but when he was a lot smaller, he used to go and take his little bicycle with stabilisers on it, and he could whiz around Dunham Park, and it was a great excitement if you managed to spot the deer. Looking after this estate takes a lot of work, and the winter months provide the perfect opportunity to spruce up a few rooms.
I can't even really keep my bedroom clean. I couldn't imagine sort of having to maintain a stately home. I'd be really bad at it.
This is the Great Gallery, and at the moment we're using it to store things from 2 different rooms which we're working on over the winter. These objects are from the Green Silk Room, which was the sitting room of the 7th Countess of Stamford. The Earl and 7th Countess left the property after being shunned by the local society and went to their other property at Enville in Staffordshire. But this room remained intact, and we're restoring it to how it was. And we have all the objects, most of the objects in store, so we can recreate the room accurately.
And the garden's gorgeous. The formal garden, not the deer park bit that you can wander through, but the formal garden's absolutely fantastic, with the orangery, with the lakeside walk.
And with everyone hard at work with the restoration, I thought I could at least help out in the garden. Surrounding Dunham Massey Hall is a great plantsman's garden, and a great plantsman's garden isn't easily achieved, which is why conservation work goes on here all year round. And while I'm here, head gardener Damien's roped me into helping out. Thank you very much, Damien.
That's no problem.
So what am I going to be doing now?
It's literally all the plants in this border now. The bog garden's died off.
Is it quite hard to maintain these gardens here? Because it's a big estate, isn't it?
Yeah, the garden's about 27 acres.
Yeah.
And we've got five members of staff and a careership gardener. Wow. And a trainee. So it's quite a large area to look after.
I hate gardening. I hate gardening. Gardening is the worst. I used to hate it when I was a kid. My dad used to make, every year, he used to make me do the back garden. So what I'd do is I'd get a spade and I'd scrape the grass off, okay, and I'd put that on the compost heap, and then just smash it with the spade. Every bit of it. You're looking puzzled. I had to do this every single year for about 10 years.
It's quite relaxing, actually.
The guy from next door was just going to look over the fence and laugh. He'd say, like, you're just replanting all the seeds. You're just replanting all the weeds.
I've had enough now. Can we go and look at the garden?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Marvellous. Put these down. I enjoyed that. This is really impressive.
Yeah, this is the main lawn area.
It's nice that you've retained the historic features and almost designed the garden around it.
The trust took over the garden in '76, and it was open in 1981 to the public.
What a view the Earl of Stamford would have had waking up in the morning, overlooking the lake. So do people have to pay to come in this part of the estate?
Yeah, the garden's open the end of March to the end of October, and it is a small price to get into the gardens, but National Trust members get in for free.
Oh, that's good. So from the home of the Earls of Stamford, I'm off to meet a neighbouring Earl. The Earl in Hale is one of the small and exclusive town of Hale's new restaurants, just 5 minutes from Altrincham. As the restaurant is co-owned by celebrity chef Simon Rimmer, expect food fit for an Earl.
Nice restaurant, nice decor, beautifully done out actually inside, really top service as well, very attentive. And when he's cooking it's very inventive and very good.
As I found out when I joined Chef Craig in the kitchen. Right, Craig, what are we cooking?
Going to do pan-fried halibut on patatas bravas, with a rare bit crust, a mature cheddar cheese, some whole grain mustard, a little bit of cream and egg yolk just to make it even richer. So nice comfort food. Basically, your ingredients are mustard, cheese, and a little egg yolk to bind it, and a tiny splash of cream.
So just lob it all in there?
Lob it all in there.
Do you like my cooking terms?
I like it. I use that one myself. What I've got for the patatas bravas is some potatoes that I've fried off already, just to get a bit of colour on them. And the main ingredient, some chorizo sausage. Meanwhile, you're bunging all your ingredients in together.
There we go.
And I'm going to lightly flour the halibut. Just a light coating. Again, hot pan. The presentation side down. We just want that to cook nice and slowly. We try to concentrate on locally sourced products and produce from places such as the Delamere Dairy and Nantwich, which provide us with some of our cheeses. We've got a goat's cheese salad. We've got lamb cutlets from the Vale of Bowland. Fairly straightforward food, it's not simple, but as local as we can get it.
It's quite new, this restaurant.
Late October we opened, although it's flown by because it's been pretty busy, so yeah, brand new, but I think we're a welcome addition.
And it is run by certain celebrities.
Mr. Simon Rimmer, yes, my mentor. Yeah, he's a very popular man. Sometimes when he's working here we don't get a lot of work out of him, but we do get plenty of books signed and a lot of people coming at the pass to see if it really is him working.
There's a very good dining experience around here.
There's lots of restaurants around here, lots of really good restaurants as well. There's Nectar, Amber, got the Hale Grill, Hale Kitchen as well, which are all fantastic restaurants. So there's definitely competition, but that improves everyone, I think, and people like to have something different and varied. They don't want to eat in the same place necessarily every single time they go out.
Am I done?
That's perfect, absolutely brilliant. Get a job here. Finish off these by putting some chilli in to the potatoes, a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. We'll give it a little stir. Meanwhile, our fish is almost there, so we'll take your lovely rare bit crust. We'll bring the potatoes out of the oven and onto the plate, and that's it. Very, very simple dish.
Gorgeous. As well as great food, buildings and activities in and around Altrincham, there are also a fair few other talents in this town. Altrincham Choral Society is a mixed voice choir with singers from the South Manchester and North Cheshire area. Tonight they are rehearsing at the Altrincham Methodist Church, and as you can hear behind me, they're very good. Stephen, the Altrincham Choral Society has quite an enviable reputation here in the Northwest, doesn't it?
It's beginning to get so, yes. We tend to perform to a really high standard, and we perform at the Royal Northern College of Music, which is a top-class professional venue, so it has that little bit of extra something about it. And when it's in the programme to see that we are one of the Northwest leading choirs, it's always quite nice to see that.
When were you founded then?
1945, and actually founded in Altrincham, so we've been going just 60 years now, and the first concert was in the Stanford Hall, and founded by an E.M. Forster, not the writer, I hasten to add though.
So where can people come and hear you?
What we tend to do is we do 4 concerts a year, and we do 3 concerts which are primarily the choral music, the choral repertoire, and then we do Christmas concerts as well, and that sort of tends to be the typical fare, and anybody can come and see us. Normally it's spring, summer, autumn, and then the Christmas concerts obviously are in December.
What does choral music actually mean?
Choral music, opposed to orchestral music, is simply singing, and there are normally pieces which are written in 4 or 8 parts, and it's just the blend of how those voices come together, in essence giving that choral vocal sound.
And anyone can come and learn how to do this? Or
My view is that anybody can, whether people believe that that's the case or not. You do need some kind of musical knowledge, but literally we would welcome anybody to come along, and it's just great fun, and it also keeps you happy and healthy.
I'm the first to jump on stage and attempt karaoke, but I can't sing, and everyone else will admit that I can't sing either. So what would be some good singing tips to help me out?
First thing is you've got to have confidence.
Right.
Okay, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
And what tends to stop people from performing to their maximum is breathing. So it's really standing appropriately, taking a really good breath, and then really sort of communicating eyes and face and making sure that all of that communicates to the public.
So what's being performed tonight? Because I might have a go.
You'd be very welcome.
Thank you.
Tonight we're looking at, it's a really, really well-known piece. It's Carmina Burana by Orff, and I suppose it's most well-known as an aftershave advert.
And something to do with the omen as well.
The omen, yeah, it's one of those sort of really heavy kind of demonic type choruses as well. It's all about sort of, I suppose, an old day version of sex, drugs and rock and roll, if you like, and first movement's about the chance and fate and the moon sort of turning and all sorts of exciting things.
That's it from the current series of I Love Manchester. We've delved into some of Greater Manchester's most prominent landmarks and history, discovering just why Manchester is a world-renowned place. So what better way to end the series than with some exciting, dramatic music.
I'd love to go there.
Places to go with JMPTE sponsors I Love Manchester.